Listen up, Earth Angels. Is it really your best bet or is it just your safest bet? Ooh. A lot of people, when they're faced with a choice between a particular choice of action and another, a lot of times they will articulate, they'll say, this is your best bet. Your best bet is this. But a lot of times, what they're actually articulating is the safest bet. And your safest bet might not actually be your best bet or the smartest bet. It's just the bet that seems the most familiar, maybe. It might be the bet that your most insecure version might take. So let me get into it. Okay, but first of all, hi, my name is Sheba. I'm a transformation specialist, shadow alchemist, and ex lawyer, and I help powerful, visionary, highly skilled women and cycle breakers to unleash their true selves, walk in purpose as divine disruptors, and create the life of their dreams. Ooh. So part of that is making sure you know whether or not you're making your best bet or if you're actually just making the safest bet because you're a little scared, because maybe you've gotten some bad advice, because you're not clear on what you want, or you're a little unsure, you're a little worried that maybe what you want is too attainable. So instead, you settle for the safe bet. Mm? Okay, let me give you some definitions, all right? The safest bet guarantees the highest probability of success with minimal risk, yielding a low but reliable return. Okay? So, highly likely to win, succeed, but very little payoff. As opposed to your best bet, which often involves value betting, where you choose an underdog or a point spread with odds that heavily outweigh the actual probability of the outcome. The most advantageous, successful course of action. It implies making the choice that gives you the highest probability of a positive outcome or reaching your goal. So, yeah, a lot of times people think making the safe bet is your best bet. But if you've ever watched Drag Race, you know whenever the girls choose the safe bet, maybe something they've tried before at home, maybe something, that doesn't take them outside of their comfort zone, they think that is the best bet. But it never is, baby. And after, they try the safe bet, Rue is always like, that was your inner saboteur. Your inner saboteur who ultimately wants the best for you. They want you to be safe. They don't want you to experience ridicule or humiliation or rejection or loss. So they're like, let me do the safe bet. Highly likely to succeed, but pays out very little. Yields a low but reliable return. So the return you might make in Drag Race for making the safe bet is you don't have to try something new. You don't have to go outside of your comfort zone. You know what you're going to get. The safe bet might be familiar. Maybe the safe bet came from someone who told you when you were a kid that people who look like you, this is the best they can do. Your best bet is this. Maybe because of your race or your gender or the community you come from or your socioeconomic, background or situation. Someone might have told you, and you might have been that someone who was like, my best bet is to, do this, take a job at this place. You might have said maybe like, your best bet is to join the US military. But you might actually have meant that's your safe bet. It's a very low bar to success in it. You just have to be good at like following orders. You just have to be willing to accept a servant's salary in exchange for maybe unaliving a bunch of people. Well, you, you know, you get a servant salary to take on, a lifetime of PTSD and soul loss and depression and, you know, um, and so when you think of it that way, it's actually not your best bet. And sometimes we're taught to take the safe bet because we're afraid of betting on ourselves. That's the best bet. Your best bet is not US military. Your best bet is not the thing that lots of people with okay lives, servant salaries at the behest of, an imperialist death machine like the US, JD Vance tells you to do something. No, what's that guy's name? Pete Hegseth tells you to do something. Yes, sir. You don't have to like it. You don't have to understand it. You can actively understand that it's something unnecessary and harmful to you and the people you're, sent to do. But you do it for a servant salary, for a discount at Denny's, for people to say thank you for your service. Ooh, babe, come on. That is not your best bet. Might be your safest bet. But then when you think about it, if you are, and I feel like the people who resonate with me, if you are a lucky person, you're a person for whom things always just work out, then your best bet is not going to be the safe bet. The safe bet that yields a low but reliable return, as opposed to the best bet, which, you choose an underdog or, something where the odds outweigh the actual probability of the outcome. So if you're someone who has a lot of good luck, everything works out for, you got to go for the best bet. You can't be like, oh, the odds that it will pay off aren't worth it. No, for you, they are. The, technical probability of success might be low, but if it works, the payoff is incredibly high. High risk, high reward. But for you, it's not really a high risk. Everything always works out for you. Whatever you try for, you get. And we know this, game that we're in is about audacity. Success takes more audacity than talent. So if you go big, you win big. If you make the safe bet that other people think is reasonable and, you get a little bit for it, like if you make that, that's how you lose. The universe will give you what you go for. And so if you let the voices tell you that you got to take the safe bet, take that job that you don't resonate with and agree with, and it doesn't like pay you a lot of money, take that. That's the safe bet. That's your best bet, I bet people will say. And they might be saying that just because that is what they think is the best bet for them. They haven't done the healing work, the, inner child sitting with, unpacking their insecurities and their shadows. So they don't know that maybe what they've said is their best bet is actually their safest bet. It's the thing that they're like, I'm afraid that like I won't get anything if I go for, if I take the best bet option. If I bet on this, if I bet on myself. But that's why, yeah, like that's one of the kind of rules. Success takes more audacity than talent. So when you bet on yourself, when you show the universe, like, what I think, I'm gonna go for it. It might not be the, most popular thing. It's the underdog kind of choice. but the payoff is worth it. And it is. Yeah. So a lot of times, people will definitely, um, they'll want to be realistic. They're afraid of looking delusional. They're afraid of looking overconfident. They're afraid of, other people like seeing them and being like, it's never going to work. See, I told you, people like you, they never do things like that. Cats don't dance in Hollywood. Y'all seen that movie? It's a movie from the 90s. Cartoons, very good. And it's very true. Everyone expects you not to bet on yourself, and they expect you to accept the odds of success that other people assign to you. But other people don't know. Only you know. And so if you can't bet on yourself, I mean, I'm not even like gonna like speculate if you can't, because like you are. You're staying this long, you're someone who bets on themselves. So let me be the affirmation, confirmation that you're looking for. You're right. You're smart. It's going to be seen as like visionary and so brilliant and so world changing. And people are going to learn to bet on themselves, to trust their vision and their belief in what is possible because they see you doing it. Powerful. Ooh. Yeah, we're all just giving ourselves permission to be more of ourselves, surprisingly. And yeah, think of our most successful people. They didn't take the safest bet. They didn't do the bet that like, oh, their childhood bullies or their parents or the media said like, oh, they'll never make it. Mm. Ain't nothing better. We beat the odds together. I'm glad we didn't listen. Look at what we would be missing. Ooh! Glad we didn't listen. Glad we didn't take that safe bet, disguised as the best bet for us. No, we knew better. We knew that we're going to make it. It always works out for you. Oof. Also, just before this message, I pulled this card, the Sun, one of the most optimistic cards in the tarot. I think it's the most optimistic. And it's about like investing in yourself and belief and, the source and expressing oneself. Yeah. So that's you, babe. So keep betting on yourself. That is your best bet, is betting on yourself. And the payoff is insane. The payoff is like so monumental, so exponential. You're going to be really glad. Like the best people, like my favorite people who I think have the most success all around are the people who just bet on themselves and they don't worry about being realistic. They know that like it's kind of self-sabotaging to take a low risk. You don't have to be low risk. You can be audacious because it always works out for you. All right. I delivered the message. So let me know what you think. I will talk to you, Earth Angels, tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe. Head on over to my website, ShebaNewmanBlount.com, if you want to work one-on-one with me. Create your dream life. Learn how to walk in purpose as a divine disruptor. And just like unleash your true self, babe. Unleash your sun. Unleash your sun, my love. All right. Woo. Love you so much. Like, comment, subscribe. And I will talk to you, Earth Angels, tomorrow. Love you. Bye.